Thomas Kenniff, the attorney for Daniel Penny. So I have to imagine, Tom, that before Daniel made those videos, which I thought were terrific and really told you the story of what happened that day. Of course, it's his story. There's two sides, I get it, maybe three. But it seemed honest to me. I would imagine he came to you first, yes, and asked you if he can do something like that?
Yeah, look, I mean, obviously we've, we walk every step with him. Look, the default decision is not to have your client say anything, right? And in the vast majority of cases, that's exactly what we do. In this particular case, though, it's different. It's different for a couple of reasons. One, I think we have a client here who comes off well, who, I think Mark Twain said, if you tell the truth, you have nothing to remember, right? That there's no doubt that he has been consistent and accurate to the best of his recollection, with us and publicly. And everything he says is corroborated by disinterested third parties that were on that subway train, by the way. But secondly, look at some of the broad sides this poor guy has taken. And I'm not talking about just from one segment of the media. I'm talking about public officials, all the way up to the governor of the state, who has taken an oath to defend the Constitution of the United States, but yet is doing violence to it when she comes out and prejudges, a case with a defendant who is presumed innocent constitutionally. So, at some point, we made a tactical decision to say, look, more than just your lawyer, as much as I love being here talking with you, there's nothing like hearing it from the client's mouth, right? To get out there and counter, this narrative where, imagine being a 24-year-old kid. You served your country. You have no criminal record. You stand up to try to protect innocent women and children, and you're being called a vigilante, again, by what some people consider mainstream media sources, by elected officials. You're being called a killer, a white supremacist. So that narrative, I think, at some point needs to be countered.